Motion to open the zoning board of appeals meeting.
In a second? Oh, sorry.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Due to the fact we're short of a couple of people, we'll skip over to
Is there a case?
Goddard Highlands, looking to release what's being held, which is $60,300. I guess the town is happy with it. And they're asking that I sign it off. So,
Do we have a case number?
huh?
Do we have a case number?
I do not.
I got the original. What's the wish of the board?
Okay, well, we gotta open the case first of all. Motion to open the case on
Yeah,
the
case.
villages at Goddard Highlands.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to, the engineering department said everything is up to snuff. So I will recommend that we release the bond of $60,300 to, under the tri-party agreement.
Second that?
You probably have to put down that I'm signing for it too. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to have Sherm sign for the board.
I'll second that too.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is that Marguerite joining?
No, it's Gigi.
Gigi.
I didn't do anything.
That's it?
So is that what you're here for?
Yeah, he's here for this.
Oh, so those, okay.
We're at a standstill right now because one gentleman lost somebody in the family, and you don't wanna go with 4 board members.
She just pulled into her garage.
The what?
She just pulled into her garage.
Oh. I'm glad I don't know how to use my camera. So this is all set. I signed the original, so.
Well, we can open the case and, read the thing in, right?
Okay.
Motion to open case number 4317. Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Public hearing will be held in Town Hall, Conference Room B, Room 301, 3rd floor, 10 Pearl Street, on November 7th, 7:30 PM, on a petition of Stoughton Fuel Realty LLC, represented by Shabar, is that how you said it? Shabar Engineering Group, PC, case number 4317 for a special permit under the Town of Stoughton zoning bylaw of November 18, 2015, as amended. Section 5.0, non-conforming use structures regulations. 5.6, abandonment or non-use of non-conforming use or structures which has been abandoned or not used for a period of 2 years shall lose its protected status to be subject to all provisions of the zoning bylaw, provided, however, that by a special permit of the zoning board of appeal may reestablish a non-conforming use of structures otherwise abandoned or not used in order to allow for reestablishment of the gasoline filling station located at 110 Birch Street, further identified in the Assessors Plan 65, Lot 57 and 58, in a neighborhood business zone in said Stoughton. Any person desiring to receive further notice concerning this petition is provided by the general rules of the Zoning Board of Appeals should file a written request containing his or her name and address with the board. The petitioner is representative of any other persons desiring to be heard in this matter should appear at time and place designated. Sherman F. Pro Chairman was in the Patriot Ledger September 4th and September 11th, 2024. And we took some testimony on September 19th, 2024.
Do we need to read this letter in from October 7th?
Yeah, I got
Related to this
that.
case? Want this copy?
No, but we're hearing this tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but all that is for is an extension.
No, it's also to amend the previously filed special permit application.
Oh, that, yeah.
let me see, because I'm gonna work on mine. This came October 7th, 2024, regards to a special permit, 110 Birch Street, Stoughton, Mass. The applicant is Stoughton Fuel Realty LLC, 110 Birch Street, Stoughton, Mass. Dear Chairman Epro, on behalf of the applicant, Stoughton Fuel Realty LLC, we kindly request to amend our previously filed special permit application filed to reestablish the abandoned non-conforming gasoline filling station at 110 Birch Street. Per Section 5.6, abandonment of non-conforming use. To also add the expansion of non-conforming use per Section 5.2 subsection 5.21 of Stoughton zoning bylaws. We respectfully ask to be placed on the next available zoning board of appeals. Alam A. Shabad, P.E. President, licensed professional engineer. Okay. John?
She's logging on.
Huh?
She just said she's logging on.
Yes, no?
There she is.
Who's the someone?
Can you hear us?
Is she
Marguerite, you
muted?
there?
She's on mute.
Looks like she's muted.
Marguerite, you're muted.
Up right now, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay.
We read the case into the
Okay,
meeting.
Mr. Schmid.
Great.
So now we have,
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board, and for the record, my name is Hal Chua. I'm a consulting engineer in Dartmouth, and I represent the applicant on this special permit application. If you recall, I just want to go quick, refresh your memories. Back in September 19th, we appeared in front of this board for a special permit to reestablish an abandoned use at 110 Birch Street, and that what used to be the former Cumberland Farms gasoline station. We did come in front of the board, we made our presentation, there was some comments during the process, we did address, and I'm sure this is a public hearing tonight, whatever comments also from the public will address them, but at that time, I believe it was Ms. Mitchell that suggested that we go back and amend the special permit application to add the expansion of the existing non-conforming use, because we moved the gasoline pumps, and also we moved the building and we expanded the building. So the proposed building now is about 2,000 square feet. The old building on the property is 1,400 square feet. So we did go back. I did have a change. I talked to the building commissioner and I contacted the engineering. They had a meeting with town council, and I believe at that time town council said we don't need to advertise if I submit a letter saying I need to amend the application, add the language to it, because obviously the same abutters for this case would be the abutters for the other cases, and they would be here, and I assume the abutters are here tonight too. So we did that, and we are here tonight. Just to refresh your memory, the project, I do have a couple of slides, if I may, put on the easel for you, or I mean, if you, or I can grab them and put them on the table. But I think
No, you can
it's
put 'em on
probably,
the easel,
yeah,
yeah.
it's better for the public. I'm not sure with the camera. Is this where we put the?
The camera is
Or
behind that.
should we put here? Far?
Put it out, yeah, right.
Yeah, here is perfect. They are saying.
Right here.
No, here. Here. Yep.
That's fine.
Yes.
No, I need to. Have to face it the other way.
We have to.
No.
Yep. There you go. Yeah. Perfect.
It's facing the other way.
Yeah. Can you see that, Marguerite?
I mean, if it's a plan that we already saw, it's probably easier for him to show you guys. It's not the easiest for me to see. I have that plan in front of me.
Okay, great, thank you.
Sure. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, so basically this is the property, and that's the existing building that's there now. The pumps were taken down a few years ago, and the underground fuel tanks were removed from the site also. At that last time, I think I did mention that about a year ago, we started the design process, and I did contact the town planner, and we had some informal meeting with the town a couple of times to develop a plan that we thought, would be appropriate for this site. So what you see here in front of you, kind of a joint venture between us and the town. What we propose to do, because the applicant also controls the site to the back, we currently, the site, I just want to go back so we know what the improvements are. So currently, there's a building that is 1,400 square feet on the site. There are 3 curb cuts on Park Street. One is 60 feet, one is 70 feet, one is 40 feet. And they're so close to the intersection. Also, there is another 120-foot curb cut on Birch Street for the property. There's no landscape. Basically, the whole property is covered with impervious surfaces. With the proposed improvements, we would like to construct a 2,000 square foot convenience store that would be placed in this corner, and close all the 3 curb cuts, the 2 curb cuts on Park Street, and then the 120-foot curb cut on Birch, and provide approximately 20% green space around the perimeter of the property, moving the intersection 200 feet, the curb cuts 200 feet away from the intersection. Therefore, it's a tremendous traffic improvement to the site. And I think, you know, the planning board would agree on that. Provide 7 parking spaces in front of the building, and that there'll be 4 pumps with the steel overhead canopy also on the side of the property, but we would be using the curb cuts of the adjacent property to access the site. Also, part of this improvement will be stormwater management, will comply with the Mass DEP requirements for a new site, will be new lighting, will be upgrading all the utilities. We believe that it's a unique piece of property, and it does work because the applicant controls the piece in the back. And I think the question was, why did Cumberland leave last time? Because Cumberland left because the site didn't work with Cumberland, because Cumberland did not control the site in the back. So the access and the parking, it was totally different than what you see here. For Cumberland, I think they had 3 angled pumps in front, in the at the front of the property, and the parking was on the side. It wasn't in front of the building. And like I said, there was 4 curb cuts around, and access to the property wasn't the ideal, and it was underperforming, and probably that's why Cumberland left. There was an issue about some release or contamination on the site. I do have a full assessment, 480 pages, that I forwarded also to the, I have copies of that here, but I just didn't bring I didn't print the 498 pages, but Marjorie, I think that was a question that you did also ask. I do have the copy here. This is, I only printed the conclusion of this, and this says that there was a release back in 2000, it was taken care of. Then after that, in 2021, when they took the tanks, they did the testing, there's no release of any contamination on site. Also back prior, I think Mr. Patel hired an LSP to do phase 1 because this was required by the bank. After they took the tanks out of there, and then they took samples, they sent it to the lab, they came back, it's free, the bank will give them a loan to, otherwise they wouldn't finance the property. So there's no contamination on site. I just want to make it clear because there was also a concern. Other than that, I think we did amend the application to say that we need, in addition to reestablish the abandoned use, we are also asking the board to act on a request to increase the non-conforming use, which I mentioned. The building's gonna be 2,000 square feet versus 1,400, and we'll have 4 pumps instead of 3. Again, this is our first step. You're not signing a carte blanche. I can't go from here tomorrow and go to Mr. Erickson and say, I need a building permit. So this is our first hoop. We still need to go through Board of Health, we need to go through site plan review, we need to go through fire department, environmental, all those agencies. But before we can do anything, actually, we need to come here to say, well, we need to reestablish the use, and that's why we're here. Again, I'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
Okay. Jay, you have any questions?
Not currently, but I may have some after further discussion.
Jeff?
You mentioned that there would be 7 parking spaces for the 2,000 square foot building, and then you're also asking for, to extend the non-conforming use. I mean, is anywhere in this ask, is there any kind of variance required? I mean, to ask another way, is the parking for this plan sufficient?
Yes, we meet all the requirements, the setback requirements, we meet the lot coverage, we're increasing the lot, we're decreasing the lot coverage,
Right.
basically. We will be in compliance with lighting, it's only the special permits. The parking is in compliance with zoning. I think we required 7 parking spaces, we provided 8 parking spaces.
Mm-hmm. And then how would traffic work around the pumps in the middle there?
The,
So they would come in on the curb cuts on the left and the right, and then the
For the-
arrows show you.
yes. So this is the existing curb cut for the plaza.
Yep.
So you're only using the existing curb cuts to access both properties.
Yeah.
And the reason you have it open like this, because we want to be able to deliver the fuel truck, so the truck would come in, drop off the load and leave, so there'd be no disruption with the traffic or the site itself. You can see like the truck can position himself on right here next to them, and he won't be blocking any of the driveways, or he won't be backing up to Park Street or to Birch Street when they deliver fuel.
Right, they can come straight through.
They can, come in either way, pull in and pull out. And as I mentioned, they control this. I think it really works because they control this site. If they didn't control the site, it would be very hard for this to function.
You own,
They
yes,
own it,
They
yes.
own Bob's?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
Yes.
And I think another question I had last time was something about, you're dependent on the other property.
Right.
Today you own both. Who's to say what happens in the future, right? Is there an intention to combine these? during the process?
There'll be an easement, shared driveway easement between the two.
Okay.
Put on by, yes.
I have no other questions right now.
Yeah, any more questions?
No.
Marguerite?
I thought that we might have received a letter from the Board of Health and some documentation, is that right, on this matter?
When what?
Yeah, this. Yeah, we received an email in our packets, Marguerite. It looks like it really just summarizes what was already spoken about. There were 2 spills historically that have since been cleaned up, and there's some reports attached to that.
So I wanted to make sure that was part of the record, and, I think the petitioner mentioned 1 spill, but I think the Board of Health referenced 2, both of which they said DEP found had been properly resolved.
In one of the things that they sent us, he does reference 2. There was one 12 years ago and one about 20 years ago.
That was from the Board of Health, right?
Yes.
Lawrence Perry. Engineering Department, Board of Health.
And then the petitioner, if I was hearing correctly, there was some background noise, but, the submission, the 480 some odd page submission that you were in possession of, you were giving us the conclusions, those were just for a 2000 oil spill, and then at the time of discontinuance of the use?
That's correct, Ms. Mitchell. I don't see, the last one, it says February 2000, and then they said after that, they continued to use the gas station until 2021, when the underground storage tanks were removed, and they had the closure associated with that, and there was no, I can't, I think the report I have mentioned the 2000 release. I'm not sure with the other one, but after the 2000, the tanks, once you remove the tanks, you would have to submit the report to the DEP, and I think that was fine. But when Mr. Patel bought the property, obviously the bank required a phase 1 assessment or 21E, so he hired them just to make sure, and it came back that there was nothing after 2000 to 2021. So since then there was no release or anything, and the samples that they took from the site, they sent to the lab, they came out clean. So, and I wanted, if you like, I mean, it's a 498 page, I can send a copy to the zoning board just for the record, but
I think we at least need the conclusions, because it sounds like the spills and the work that you're referencing is different than what the Board of Health gave to us. So at a minimum, I think we need for our records the conclusions that you're talking about, the 21E report done for financing, and the 2021 work, because I think the Board of Health was from something from the 1990s and something from 2012.
Okay, I can leave, I have the copies here, I made 3 copies, I can leave them here, and meanwhile, also I can send a copy.
With that, you can't close the door.
Can I close it to this much? Is that okay? For that?
Well,
No, the door has to be open, so the public
How
meeting.
far? This far open?
Huh?
We'll leave it open.
Okay,
So as long as you can submit it to the chairman, he can sign and make it part of the record.
okay.
The other piece of information I thought we were gonna have in the record, but I didn't see it emailed over, but it might be there, was the email from town council relating to the process for the request for this, the, extension of the special permit. Do we have that?
I have it on my phone.
No, I didn't see that.
Jack
Can
says he
we-
has it on his phone.
Can we include that in the record? Can we make a motion to include that email into the record?
What if we just read it into the record?
Can you
Can we, or read
print
it in?
that
I
out?
don't, that's fine, we can read it in, however you wanna do it.
I can go downstairs and print it out.
Well, yeah,
Print it
well-
out here. You wanna read it into the record?
I mean, how long is it? Can I read it in?
Sure.
Okay.
I can't read that small.
It's an email from Brian Winter. Hi Jack, to be clear, I believe what I suggested was that I wouldn't have a problem proceeding on the finding without renoticing / re-advertising. I recognize that the original and only notice of public hearing only references the SP application. As the finding is also administered by SP, I presume special permit, I don't believe that there is any significant risk of prejudice in the notice. The people who have appeared and participated per the existing notice would be very likely the same if the notice had included the finding. Conversely, if someone didn't show for the SP, it is unlikely that person would show for the finding. That being said, it is the applicant that will bear the risk if any challenge is raised by virtue of the notice. Accordingly, the applicant needs to choose to accept the risk of proceeding without a new notice. If, for whatever reason, the applicant feels the risk is too substantial, the applicant can renotice and re-advertise and essentially start all over in a few weeks. Brian J. Winter, Mead, Tallerman, and Costa, LLC, 730 Main Street, Suite 1F, Millis, Mass.
I just wanna make sure in light of that email, that the petitioner is looking to move forward tonight with a vote based on just the letter, but no notification being given.
Correct, yes, we are.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. I have no other questions.
Jack, can you print that out?
Yeah.
I don't mean now, but,
Yeah, yeah.
and we'll just put it in the record, please.
Yep.
Mr. Chair, if you want to accept these for
Well-
for the record, I think you might have to. I'm not sure
I'll
if you
take
have to
one.
vote. Okay. Sure. Thank you.
And I'll sign it into the record. You all set, Marguerite?
Yeah, I have no other questions.
Hmm. Um, we're gonna stay with the hours that you gave us last time. 6 AM to 9 PM.
Yes.
Um,
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, I guess I was looking over my notes from last time. I do have one more question. So last time the expectation was that there would be an A&R plan submitted to the planning board to combine the two lots. But now tonight you mentioned a shared driveway easement. Is it both, or I just wanna make sure we put the condition together correctly?
Yeah, no, let me clarify on that, Ms. Mitchell. I think we're gonna do an easement or common driveway, because I did talk to a couple of attorneys, and they said, because this has a special permit, you combine the two, might create, you will have to go back and amend the special permit, so we don't wanna do that. We'll just do a common driveway with the reciprocal easement for both property to use the common driveway. That would be the easiest thing to do. And it could be a condition, absolutely so. So it'll be recorded at the registry of deed with the properties.
Okay, thank you, that's helpful to know.
Thank you.
Okay. If it's gonna be a common driveway,
What, an easement?
here comes meanie. I have a couple of questions
Sure.
on where you're gonna put the building in the greenery. Now, when you come down Birch Street and take the left so that you can see Park Street, are we gonna have clear vision? Because I'm not sure what you're showing as far as where the trees and the building are gonna be. If you want, you can come up here, Mike, Paul. I'm not sure how the site is gonna be when you're looking down. If you come down Birch Street and you're gonna come out on the Park Street over here, what the site will be.
That, we would require that anyways, between the, site plan approval,
Okay.
that it has to be at least 3 feet, can't be higher than 3 feet.
Well, I don't mean higher, I mean, the way it looks like they have the shrubbery, it's gonna be on the, on the, it looks like the borderline of the property.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
but it has to be low so that you have sight visit, so you can see down Park Street.
okay.
Yeah.
And then one of the other problems I have is you're gonna have a tanker truck come in. Tanks are gonna be here. Tanker truck's gonna come in, I'm hoping off of Park Street, and pull up to the tanks and dump. Now he has to leave. Is he gonna go down Birch Street?
Yes,
He's gonna go down.
yes.
So tractor trailer's gonna head down Birch Street.
Correct.
With, okay. And
And if you come from this side.
I guess that's all I have. I have a problem with a tractor trailer going down Birch Street because they're gonna take up the majority of the street when they're going down. So they're gonna probably have to they'll probably have to unload at certain hours.
We don't have problems with that. We've had it before. If we can get delivery, you can control delivery. We can do delivery off peak hours normally, so you don't want, but we don't want it too late anyways, because it's a mostly residential area
That's
too,
right,
so.
yeah.
So, I mean, Mr. Chair, you remember, I've probably done 3 or 4 gas stations in this town, but we've done gas stations all over New England. So this is it's not an issue if it's a condition that delivery would be between, let's say, 10 a.m. and maybe 8 p.m., something like that. So it's not too late to disturb the residents, and it's not early where it's peak hour.
It's also hard to try to pinpoint when you're gonna deliver,
I
because
mean,
you don't
they
know when
can-
you're gonna run out.
No, they check right now. I think technology is different. They have equipment that automatically connected to
Correct.
Oh, I know.
by satellite or by online directly with the supplier, so they know exactly when they're getting low and they can do that. So
Okay. Anybody in the audience? You have questions, Paul?
Yeah, Paul Carter, 115 Birch Street. I've got a few questions. How big is the sign, your signage? How tall? What's the height on it?
I don't have the sign on yet, but the sign has to be in compliance with zoning. If it's
Yeah,
not,
right.
we'll have to get a variance, but I don't think we need
How
to.
high? 10, 20, 30, 40 feet?
No, whatever the requirements for the town.
We have
We're
to
not here for the
submit
sign.
Right,
It's gonna be in compliance with zoning.
in through the planning
Oh,
board.
the sign will be through planning board.
So the sign that's on Bob's will pretty much be the sign what the gas station will be applicable to?
You mean the sign that's on Bob's now?
There's a sign on 27 on Park Street.
Oh, you mean the pylon sign?
Yes.
Okay. They have to submit it to the planning board.
Okay.
So we won't know until they actually submit it
Right.
to the planning board.
I'm on a butter, I just wanna know.
No,
Is it
I
gonna
understand.
be neon, or is it just gonna be, is it gonna be mobile sign, or?
I haven't looked at the sign yet because we're not here
Okay,
for,
just asking.
but what I'm saying, it's gonna be in compliance with zoning, whatever the zoning bylaws are in the neighborhood business district allow, this is what's gonna be. If it's 20 square feet, it's gonna be 20 square feet. If they allow 80 square feet, it might be 80 square feet.
Why'd you go from 1,400 feet to 2,000 square feet? That's pretty substantial, it's almost a
It's
50% increase in the size of that building.
The size of the building, I'll tell you why, because I said, probably previously to the board, I've designed over 400 gas stations in the last 15 years. Once you take the floor layout, if I may show you the floor layout, and I understand that you're in a butter with, for a size of 1,500 square feet, building codes, over 1,500 square feet, you're required to have 2 handicap bathrooms, correct?
Right.
Now, you take the utility room, you take the 2 handicap bathroom and the cooler, you really actually have 500 square feet of retail in the store. And I have a floor layout, I can show you that. So, at 2,000 square feet, it's not, it's a small store for a gas station, it's not a big store. It's not like, a typical, Cumberland Farm is about 4,000 or 5,000 square
That's
feet,
right.
so you're half of the size, you know, it's not like really, it's bigger than the 1,400, yeah, but I mean, it's not 2,000 square feet. By the time you take, you know, the storage, the bathrooms and the cooler and the cash register, you have 4 or 5 gondolas there, you know, so.
Okay. Are the pumps above or below the gas? Where's it gonna be? The tanks?
Below.
Below?
Double wall tanks below will be in compliance with every environmental code you can have in Massachusetts or in the US, so.
Yeah, I can tell you though, in 1995, there was a leak there, okay? The neighborhood litigated against Cumberland Farms,
Right.
and that's why they shut that station down. There's 13 gas stations right now in Stoughton. There's
Mhm.
another one going on next to the Cumberland Farms on 139. So you will make 15 gas stations in this town, okay? So there's enough gas stations in this town. So I'm adamantly against this, but I'm not finished. You said, I went to the last meeting, maybe I misheard you. I thought you said 9 AM to 9 PM. Now I heard 6 AM to 9 PM, which makes more sense. Maybe I misheard you the last meeting, but I just want clarification on the hours.
I don't, Mr. Chair, you said it was 6 to 9, is that what we said at the last
Yeah,
meeting?
what you told us
Yes.
was 6 AM to 9
Yeah,
PM.
Okay.
gas stations don't own, your peak
I am
hours
well aware.
is, you know, 9
So
o'clock.
you said you did a phase one that came clean, but then you said, I'm in the business, okay?
Sure.
So I own, develop,
Mhm.
lease, buy and sell property.
Mhm.
So you said you did soil samples. On a phase one, they just give you a report. On a phase two, they do soil samples. So there had to be soil samples taken, and that's a phase two, not a phase one. So I'd like to see a copy of the phase two and who the engineering firm was that actually did it.
I have an extra copy here if you like. And if you want the full report, give me your email, I'll send you the 500 pages.
Okay. Finally, so in a neighborhood business, a gas station is not allowed now by current zoning. So I think it sets a bad precedent for this town or any place else where it's no, you guys work hard, I know you do a great job in that store, you own the one down the street, and I'm pro-development, but, what you've done here is set a bad precedent for the town. If you want a zoning change, because I own a piece of property and try to get a zoning change, okay? You have to go in front of town meeting. So that's where it should be headed. Not trying to start this, trying to get this reapproved, okay? It expired unfortunately under prior ownership, okay? So I don't know what case law is, but it sets a bad precedent. So when another gas station goes out of business and we wait 3 years, we're gonna be back at the same situation. I don't think it's fair to the people in this town, that's all. So, said my piece, thanks.
I think your zoning bylaws allows for that, if, you know.
Not in
the-
neighborhood.
Yes, it does. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here if it didn't allow it. It would allow it by special permit, that's why we're here. That's correct, if I understand it
Under
correctly?
5.2, yeah.
Yeah. And I understand, I mean, you know, but we tried, well, I understand you live there, I said you're a butter, and then when it comes to zoning, we're not asking for any variances at this time, we're asking to re-establish the use that was abandoned per section 5.2, so. And I appreciate your comments.
When was it abandoned? You said 2021?
It's been over 2 years, but I don't, do you know when they took the tanks? I think it says 2023.
Not sure.
No,
We can
22,
take
no,
a look.
not 2023, 2021, right?
2000.
Yeah, 2021.
21.
Yeah.
21.
Okay. No, sorry, that's all.
Yeah. Huh?
That's all I wanted to ask.
Nobody else wants to speak? Okay, what's the wish of the board?
We can hear her. She's
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, I'm got a lot of background noise. I think there's probably a meeting going on outside, so I didn't exactly hear everything. What are the hours now? I think they might be different than what I had last time.
They
6 to
were
9.
6 to 9.
I have 6 AM to 9 PM.
And that's Monday through Sunday?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I also had a note that the lights would be turned off, except, bid safety lights when the business is not operating.
Correct.
Okay, so, and I wanted to know I wasn't sure what the board's opinions were about the proposed, delivery hours restrictions of 10 AM to 8 PM. That's what I thought I heard. I wanted to make sure that's what I heard and what the board was comfortable with.
That's what you heard, and I don't have a problem with that.
10 to 8?
10 AM to 8 PM. Yeah, you don't want trucks in there in the morning, that's when they sell all their gases, basically in the morning.
And is that Monday through Sunday as well, or is that weekdays only? I don't know.
Yeah, Monday through Sunday, normally they don't deliver on weekends, most places don't, but just in case, it'll be easier just to say 10 to 8, 10 AM to.
Is it gonna be per your, whenever you're getting low or whatever? Like you said, you had the
The reading.
the system.
Yeah.
They can track.
Yeah. So you'll order it as you need it, right?
Right.
Okay.
Probably a couple of times a week, I would assume.
Is there any room to maybe bring that 8 o'clock hour maybe up a little bit earlier? I mean, I know it's Park Street, come the evening hours, there's probably a lot of traffic going through there. People are getting home, people are, living in their houses, having dinner and whatnot. I mean, is there a way we can keep that during the daytime hours?
Would you like 6 even?
5, 6, yeah.
What, 10 AM to 5 or 6?
How about 9 then, because
Yeah.
then we can do 9 to 6, because 9 it's off peak hour, everybody's either at work or right, so.
I'm more agreeable to that. I mean, a lot of people are already at school by 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock,
People
yeah.
are off
Okay,
to whatever
sure.
they're doing. Hearing some of the commentary around residential neighborhood. Yes, it is a non-conforming. It's a pre-existing use, but I think we need to try and
Improve it.
maintain some of that nature there.
So, what'd you say, 9 to 6?
Yeah.
9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
For the
Nice.
truck.
for delivery.
For deliveries, yeah.
Just to get that, maybe not hit that rush hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but even with, most of the time, they only want to deliver full loads. The truck comes in and dumps the whole load that's on the truck.
Yep.
That's gonna be pretty hard to 9 to 6.
Do you think it's easier between 6 and 8?
No, 10 and 8.
Well, no, you don't want it early.
You don't want it early.
Well,
'Cause
if they're okay with that, I guess it's okay. You're okay with 9 to 6?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you hear that, Marguerite?
And,
From 9 to 6, but I didn't hear all the rest of that.
Yeah.
For the
No, but
truck
that's
delivery.
basically, yeah. 9 to 6.
I think it's pretty reasonable. 9 o'clock is off peak. Most people gone for work or in school after 8 o'clock, 8:30. So
I might be a little hard with 6 because people in the other store trying to sell, meals for, that's, but if you're happy with it, okay.
Did you like the 10 to 8 shift?
I'm sorry, I
Well,
didn't mean if I was interrupting you, was I? Sure.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you
I
said.
I was just asking Sherm if he preferred the 10 to 8 over the 9 to 6.
Well, I don't mind the 9, but where they own the Bob's Market and they sell sandwiches and hot meals and food, you're asking a tank truck to come in at 6 o'clock at night, take up a pretty good sized piece of the property, and the people won't be able to go in and park.
Mr. Chair, the truck won't interfere with the site at all.
Okay.
No, I
As
mean,
long as you're
this is
okay
part
with
of our, no, we do it part of our design. We have the template, we put the template on and we make sure that it doesn't interfere. Because like I said, it won't,
I don't have a problem with that, I just worry
yeah.
about the store getting hurt.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it, but we did look into this and I don't think it's gonna hurt us anyway, but, so
Okay.
thank you.
When the truck is unloading, they're on top of those
The
tanks.
tanks, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. the next
So
to the
there's
tank.
still
This
3
is-
rows of parking.
Oh, I know what's there.
Bob still has
Yeah,
all
what-
the parking.
Yeah.
Space.
I see.
Okay. What's the wish of the board?
I believe there's one other condition, which would be, I don't know how long the site permitting process is expected to take, but I'm trying to think about when we would want this special permit, what would be the expiration date we would apply? So is it 2025, or do we want to say 2026?
They won't even have it built by 2025. I would probably say just like December of '27.
December of 2025?
That'll give them 3 years to get it built and we'll know what's going on there.
Okay.
Don't you think that's
So
fair?
in that case,
No, they have a long process to go through.
Yeah.
So, make us fit this.
To the
in that
December.
case, the conditions that I have are that the hours of operation would be 6 AM to 9 PM, Monday through Sunday. That business lights would be turned off, except safety lights, when the business is not operating. That the special permit would expire December 31st, 2027, unless it's extended prior to that time. That delivery of fuel will only take place between the hours of 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Sunday. And that the property, that a occupancy permit will not issue until such time that evidence of, a shared driveway easement for both the property in question, the abutting property, has been provided to, and a recording of that easement has been provided to the building inspector.
Okay.
Uh, I don't know if anyone else had any other conditions.
No, I think that's it.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Okay, then I would make a motion that we first make a finding, that we approve the requested special permit under section 5.6 of the zoning bylaw to reestablish the non-conforming use of a gas station in accordance with the conditions that I just referenced.
Well, it was an amended.
No, she's gonna do that afterwards.
Okay.
I'll second that. I'll second that, Marguerite.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do you have to poll her?
Aye, Marguerite.
Aye.
And then I would make a motion that we find that the expansion of the prior gas station use, as shown on the plans, will not be substantially more detrimental than the previous non-conforming gas station use was to me.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 And I'm sorry, I think we may also have to make a motion that we make a finding that the,
I need an eye from you.
sorry, Marguerite.
Okay.
I think we also need a motion to find that the,
Expansion.
pre-existing non-conforming gas station use is being expanded by virtue of, an increased convenience store and also the addition of a fourth pump station.
Second.
What was the last?
Addition of a
Fourth pump
fourth
station.
pump.
Oh, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 I, Marguerite.
Okay. I think that's it.
I think that's all we need to vote on.
Okay. We voted on that, right? All in favor?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, we voted
Okay.
on.
Yeah, I
Okay,
don't think we need to make any more motions.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. We have the decision. in that case.
Well, we don't even.
Do I have one other one?
Yeah, we got a decision.
I got so much paperwork.
This one.
Oh, yeah, okay. Shaughnessy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you.
Good luck.
Make a motion to open case number 4316.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. What's the wish of the board?
Motion to accept the decision in
This
case
is,
number
for
4316.
Shaughnessy Crane.
Yeah. I think Gary was making a motion.
Motion to accept the decision in case number 4316 is written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Marguerite?
Aye, Marguerite.
Okay.
Do you got 4? Yeah.
Yeah.
Margaret just need to sign it.
Oh.
at some point.
Oh. You're gonna put this in here, and I signed it.
So you need one more signature on it.
Oh, I got nobody else here.
So
Mark-
Marguerite, you're gonna have to sign that decision.
At some point.
There's not four of you there?
With that, Emil's
Is
not
there
here.
four of you there?
Emil's not here.
So,
Did you sit on, were you here as an alternate?
I'm listed as an alternate on that case, yeah.
Oh, then you can sign the decision. Yeah, he can sign the decision.
Yeah, he just has to probably cross out Neil's name and sign. But then we need to make a motion to substitute Jay as a voting member for Neil.
So moved.
Second.
I didn't even hear what was going on.
The motion was made to substitute Jay for Emil
Oh,
for signing purposes. Make
Okay,
him as the acting member, so then the decision is gonna have to be fixed.
All right, pass me a pen. I'll prep it for him.
I think if Kristen wants to just add a page with that motion on there and.
it's on there. Oh, I just filled it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Do I need to initial the cross out too?
No,
or-
just
So, there's
Just
some,
have to sign your life away.
you get that, Patty, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
More minutes? Good.
my job.
I'll entertain a motion, seeing
Motion
as
to
how
adjourn.
Emil is there.
Second.
Wait, I thought you were doing, you guys already did the stuff for, the 40B?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
All in favor?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you
Kristen
too.
wanted me to ask when you guys wanted to have a meeting in January, cause the
31st.
January, the first meeting in January is the 2nd, which is the day after New Year's, so do you wanna do it that day, or do you wanna just do it one meeting in January on the 16th?
I'm only doing one, do we have anything on there?
No, I don't have anything that far out.
So,
Then I said
You
just
have,
the
we
16th.
have one meeting in December, and that's got, 220 Pleasant Street on it, and renewals.
Right. And we have nothing, this is the only meeting this month, right?
Yep.
Correct, there's no meeting on the 21st. So there's a meeting on December 5th, no meeting on the 19th. And then she wanted to know about January's meetings.
I say just the 16th.
We worked really hard this summer. I think we should have just one meeting in January.
I'm very happy with meeting just on the 16th. I feel like we took an active case on the December 5th meeting, which we don't typically do.
Okay.
Okay.
And we had some extra meetings this year, by the way. to accommodate.
Right.
Yeah. And I just like to add, if you guys add another 40B, I quit.
Yeah.
Just think of how many of those I've gone through.
Do we vote to
So
adjourn?
we are adjourned?
We just finished one tonight.
Yep. Motion to adjourn?
All right, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Has been made and seconded.
You too.
Yeah,
All in favor?
Yeah.
All in favor? Aye.